Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Wayne Kohan. I'm a chiropractor and a board certified clinical nutritionist, and I've been in practice for 27 years. And today I'm going to explain to you what I do, and I want to give you a small demonstration. As far as my background, back in 1977, while serving in the military, I hurt my lower back. I went up to the base hospital, I was examined, I was told I had muscle spasms, I was put out on a 30-day leave. I went home. And my aunt had just married a chiropractor, so I went over, I saw Uncle Lou, he examined me, he did some chiropractic to me, and it did the trick. So I reported back to base, I went up to the base hospital, I saw the doctor, I explained to him I saw a chiropractor and I was feeling better, and he was very upset with me because I saw a chiropractor. So I really caught my attention. So after I was signed back in, I went over to the base library, and I did some research on chiropractic, and I saw that it was for a lot more than just back pain. So upon my discharge, I became a chiropractor, and things were going along smoothly until about 1992. I had to get up every hour on the hour. At night I had to urinate. So I called a medical doctor friend of mine up, and I went in, I did labs, I did blood work, and he examined me, and he called me up about 3 days later, and he explained to me that all he found was I had an enlarged prostate, but he couldn't tell me why because all the labs were normal. Excuse me. At the same time, I had a public radio station on, and there was a doctor on there talking about a muscle testing technique that he claimed he could identify things on the body and what was causing a health problem. So I called the radio station up. I donated $125. I was put on the air with him. I didn't tell him my problem because I had called in. I was invited out to Manhattan in about a month for a seminar. At that seminar, I was asked up on stage. I was lying down on a table, and he did this muscle testing technique to me, which I thought was a little bit strange because it was my first experience. Upon his testing, when he contacted my prostate gland, I noticed that my strong arm went weak. So the doctor says to me that I have a prostate gland problem. Then he had little test vials, and in the one test vial he had liquid mercury in it. He lied down on my body, and the weak arm went strong. So he said to me that it's your prostate gland and it's mercury. So I didn't tell him my problem, so I was pretty impressed by that. So he told me that there was 5 whole food nutrients that I needed to take, and that would handle the problem. So I did what he told me, and it did the trick. So of course I wanted to learn about this stuff. So I went back and I got the training, and currently it's what I practice, and I've been doing it for the last I don't know, like I guess last 20 years or so. Now in our present culture, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes are off the charts. It's amazing how many cases there are out there. I get people that come in all the time that if they don't have it, they know someone that's in their immediate family or a friend that has one of those 3 conditions. So as part of my work, what I look for is I look for things that are stressing the body. Now, I do not diagnose anything or treat anything. What I do is identify things in the body that are acting as a stressor or an interference field that is making the body not function properly. And the technique that I practice is called nutrition response testing. I'd like to give you a small demonstration. Melvin? Please. So it's real simple. As I explain it to people, now the first time that they see it, it seems a little strange because it's something they're not used to. But after I test them and they experience it and they feel it, even though that they may not understand it, they do feel that there's a change going on. So in essence, I just test for a locked muscle. Now what I do is I start at the frontal brain and I apply a little bit of pressure on top of each organ or gland on the body. If there's an organ or gland that's under stress, When I apply a little bit of stress there, that's additional stress, the nervous system is going to respond to that. And basically, it's going to down-regulate. So when it down-regulates, a strong arm is going to go weak. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. So I feel for a lock muscle first, then I start the frontal brain, I do the midbrain, I do the top of the head, I do the cerebellum, I do the pituitary gland, I do the hypothalamus gland, I do the frontal sinuses, I do the eyes, I do the maxillary sinuses, I do the top of the teeth, I do the bottom of the teeth, I do the throat, I do the thyroid, I do the lungs, I do the medium sternum, I do the heart, I do the liver, gallbladder, stomach, spleen, pancreas, small intestines, large intestines. This is ascending colon, transverse colon, then descending colon, and sigmoid colon. On the male, I would do the prostate and bladder. On the female, I would do the ovaries and bladder. Then I do kidney, adrenal. I do kidney, adrenal. Now, if I was to find an organ, since my experience was with the prostate gland, I'll use that as an example. So if I was to put my hand over and apply slight pressure to his prostate gland, then his arm's going to go weak. I want to know what is causing that to happen. Why is that gland under stress? So I use stress kits. I have 4 kits that I use. So my first kit here is heavy metals. I have 30 of them here. Then my second test here is environmental chemicals. I have 30 of those. I have food sensitivities. I believe there's 27 of those. And I have immune challenges. So really how this works is real simple. Each one of these is a different substance. In nature, everything has a frequency, or an energy field, if you will. Because these are different substances, there's going to be a different frequency or a different field as far as energy goes. So when I lie this on top of the body, what happens is the nervous system is going to analyze all these energies or frequencies. If it matches to one of them, then what's going to happen is that weak arm is going to go strong, which indicates to me the nervous system had responded to whatever is in this kit. And then what I would do is I would lie the kit down. I'd have the patient touch each vial so I can identify that vial. Then once I know that's a prostate gland, and as an example, it's a heavy metal, I would know what whole foods that I use for a heavy metal. I would start to lie those on the vial. And I'm looking for the same thing. So whatever makes that weak arm go strong means that it's matching to the frequency of what's in this bottle. Now, I'm asked this question all the time. I can keep the stuff in the bottle because, again, it's a frequency. It radiates through the glass. As long as the glass is not super thick, it's not going to block the signal. Now, I gave everyone a small a kit or packet. And I want to do a slight review here real quick. I have, again, what I do is it's called nutrition response testing. Also, I have a pamphlet here that talks about the type of nutrients that I use, and I also do allergy work. I have a pamphlet here that's on the allergy work, and also on the allergy work I use muscle testing as well. Then I have a slight breakdown here. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Nolan. Also, I put a little table in here. I put on here on the top our environmental chemicals. It kind of breaks them down and it shows you where they are in our environment. So as you come in contact with them, so for an example, so the very top one is aluminum. So when do we come in contact with that? There's a lot of common sources, but I guess one of the most popular ones are going to be antiperspirants, or cookware, or antacids. If you go down the list, if you go down to the bottom, here's a real popular one: is acetone or acetates. Where do they come from? Nails. See a lot of women in the office that wear nail polish. When they take that nail polish off, A lot of times now they use acetates that gets into the body. So I provided this list here for you. Then also I got a list that's that acts like a review. It says on the top, it says why nutrition response testing. So if you know someone that's having a health problem that won't go away or they can't identify, that's where I would come in. And then what I'm looking for. One, it says what is causing your health problem. And then 1A, the organ or gland that's involved. 2, what is the stressor that's causing the problem? And that would be my stress kits. I test for 105 things on each visit. And then 3 is what is the nutrient that I'm going to use. And then 4, I have a system I can monitor how the progress is going on each visit. And again, it's called nutrition response testing, and my name is Dr. Wayne Kohan. I can be reached at 602-374-2762. And again, I do not diagnose or treat anything. I'm looking for things that are stressing your body that may be causing a health problem. All right, does anyone have any questions?